Welcome back to HoloBit. We've built a complete protocol ecosystem. Now let's transform it into something anyone can use. Users don't need to see every process detail. They care about questions like, what happens if I adjust the fee rate? And how risky is this protocol in a bear market? This is exactly what parameter exploration experiments solve. It's a new way to deliver your model, with 3 benefits. First, the experiment is separated from the model, so users can explore safely. Second, inputs become panels, so parameter control is fast and intuitive. Third, outputs go to tables first, so charts are consistent and easy to build. Think of the model as the back-end engine. The experiment is the interactive app on top of it, easy to share and explore. Now let's build it. You can create an experiment in 2 ways. One is from the plus menu. We'll use the other way. Find the Model Scenario tab and open its menu. Choose Create New Experiment. Name it and confirm. You're now in the experiment scenario. Let's understand the layout first. Navigation on the left, canvas in the center, and global panel on the right. All charts depend on tables, so we start here. You'll see a default table called Output. Run the experiment once. Now Output is filled with data. Let's name this view Raw Data. Quick explanation. This table is long. You can switch between pages. Each row is 1 variable at 1 tick. The 3 columns you'll use most are tick, name, and value. The other columns help you filter by agent when needed. Important note: output records, built-in fields, and subscribed variables. You can subscribe via monitor mode or chart reference. If it's missing, subscribe it, then run again. Now let's build charts. We'll start with token prices. Click Add Card, choose Chart, and configure the basics. Name it Chart 1, Token Prices. For the table, choose Output and use the Raw Data view. You'll see 2 tabs, Data and Visualization. Open Data. Make sure you can find primary price and secondary price. Then open Visualization. Turn aggregation off, set Mark Type to Line. Now map the fields. Drag name into filters, select primary price and secondary price, drag tick to the x-axis, drag value to the y-axis, drag name to color to distinguish the 2 lines. Confirm, and resize the card as needed. Now you have a price comparison chart. Next, let's visualize X token distribution. X is held by 4 parties: unminted in the protocol's issuance pool, circulated in DEX liquidity pool, traders' holdings, team and investors' holdings. The first 2 values live in containers. Containers are dictionaries, so they are not directly chartable. We'll expose them as plain variables. Go back to the model and create 2 global variables, potential supply and reserve X. Switch both to monitor mode. In the third statistics component, inside the main process, add the 2 update formulas for potential supply and reserve X. Now go back to the experiment, run again. You should now see potential supply and reserve X in output. We can continue building the pie chart. Add a chart card. Name it Chart 2 X Token Distribution. Same table and view as before. Turn aggregation off and set Mark Type to Arc. Filter by name and select the 4 distribution variables: potential supply, reserve X, X holdings, and trader X holdings. A pie chart is a snapshot, so we use the final tick only. Drag tick into filters. Set it to your last tick only, for example, 100 to 100. Now map the fields, drag value to angle, and name to color. Confirm and resize. You now have a distribution pie chart. We can also build a chart to show the same data over time. Add a chart card. Name it Chart 3, X Distribution Trend. Same data source. Then turn aggregation off, set Mark Type to Line. Drag name into filters, keep the same 4 variables. Drag tick into X. drag value to Y. Then drag name to color, confirm and resize. You can see the distribution over time. Finally, add a chart for arbitrage performance. Name it Chart 4 Arbitrageur Average Profit. Same data source. Turn aggregation off. Set Mark Type to Area. Drag name into filters and select Arbitrage Average Profit. Then drag tick to X and value to Y. Confirm and resize. You can see the average profit on arbitrageur's side over time. Now your key metrics are visible. We've made outputs visible with charts. Next, let's add panels to control inputs. There are two types, the global panel and panel cards. The global panel is best for core protocol parameters that apply across all dashboards. Panel cards are ideal for scenario controls that are specific to one dashboard. We'll start with Global Panel. Click the menu and enter Edit Mode. In the pop-up, name it Protocol Parameters. On the left, you can see three types of widgets: form controls, layout containers, and charts. When building a panel, start with Layout. Add two collapse containers, one for curve settings, one for initial token distribution. Leave them expanded. Now add widgets inside. For curve settings first, drag a slider for max supply. Set it as follows. Label it as Total Token Issuance. Set the maximum to 1 billion, the minimum to 1 million, and the step to 100,000. Bind it to max supply. Set the default value to 100 million. Second, add two number inputs. For the first input, label it as Initial Price at 0 supply. Bind it to Price at 0 supply. Set the default value to 1. For the second input, label it as Final Price at full supply. Bind it to Price at max supply. Set the default value to 100. Third, add a select. Label it as Curve Type. Add 4 options: linear, power, exponential, and sigmoid. For the option values, strict matching is key. Set the values to linear, power, exponential, and sigmoid, using lowercase and double quotes to match our model exactly. Bind this select to curve type. Set the default option to sigmoid. This select will control which curve preview we show. So next, drag a slides. Name it Function. By default, it already has 2 slides. Add 2 more, so you have 4 in total, 1 for each curve type. On each slide card, add 2 things: a math graph for the curve preview and a text area for the formula. Now configure the slides. On the first slide, for the math graph, label it as Linear Function. Add 3 parameters, A, B, and S. Assign it to Initial Price at 0 supply, B to Final Price at full supply, and S to Total Token Issuance. Enter the expression. Set the axes to match your scale. For example, X from 0 to 100 million. Y from 0 to 100. In the text area, paste the linear pricing formula here. This helps users understand the curve logic. For the second and third slide pages, use the same setup. Only replace the expression and the text formula with the power and exponential versions. For sigmoid, we need 1 extra parameter. Add 1 more slider first. Label it Inflection Point of Curve. Set the min to 0.01, the max to 1, and the step to 0.01. Bind it to Inflection Point Ratio. Set the default value to 0.5. In the math graph, add 1 more parameter I, and assign it to Inflection Point of Curve. Enter the expression. Set the axes to match your scale, and paste the sigmoid formula into the text area. Now we connect the curve type select to the function slides. Click Curve Type. Set its events as follows. Add 4 rules, 1 for each option. If linear is selected, target function slides, select slide effect, and set value to slide 1. This way, slide 1 will show when people select linear. Then repeat the same mapping. Power shows slide 2. Exponential shows slide 3. Sigmoid shows slide 4. Now the curve preview changes as you switch curve types. Next, let's come to initial token distribution. Add 3 sliders inside. For the first one, name it presale ratio. Set the min to 0, the max to 1, and the step to 0.01. Bind it to presale ratio. Set the default value to 0.1. For the second and third sliders, name them initial liquidity ratio and public sale ratio. Do the same setup, but bind them to the corresponding parameters. Great! The global panel is ready. If you prefer, you can dock it on the left side of the dashboard. Now let's add a card panel for this dashboard. Click Add Card, choose Panel, name it Market Conditions and User Behavior. Start with Layout again. First, add 2 collapse containers, one called Market Conditions, one called User Behavior. Inside Market Conditions, add a select. Name it Market Trend. Then add 3 options, Bull, Mixed, and Bear, and set values to Bull, Mixed, and Bear, also in lowercase with quotation marks. Bind it to Market Trend, default to Bull. Next, add a slides container for buy probability, and add 1 more slide so we have 3 in total. On each slide, add 1 slider. For the slider on slide 1, name it Buy Probability in Bull Market. Set range 0 to 1, and step to 0.1. Bind it to Bull Buy Prob and set the default value to 0.6. Now repeat the same settings on slide 2 and slide 3. Only change the binding and the default. Mixed Buy Prob is 0.5, and Bear Buy Prob is 0.4. Finally, add events on Market Trend. Add 3 rules. If Bull is selected, show slide 1. Then repeat the same mapping. Mixed shows slide 2. Bear shows slide 3. Now let's look at user behavior. First, add 2 more collapse containers, one for traders, the other for arbitrageurs. For traders, add a switch and a slider. Name the switch trader enabled. Bind it to trader enabled. Default on. Name the slider single trade size in USDC. Set the range 0 to 100 million and the step to 10,000. Bind it to trade size scale. Set the default value to 300,000. Now add an interaction event on the trader enabled switch. If on, show the trade size slider. If off, hide it. For arbitrageurs, add a switch and name it arbitrageur enabled. Bind it to arb enabled. Default on. Second, add 1 more column, name it arbitrageur behavior. Inside it, add 2 sliders. For the first one, label it minimum profit margin. Set range 0 to 1 and step to 0.01. Bind it to min profit threshold. Set the default value to 0.05. For the second one, label it single arbitrage size in USDC. Use the same slider setup as above, only change the binding to RB size scale and set a sensible default. Then set interaction event on the switch. If on, show the arbitrageur behavior column. If off, hide it. Confirm, position it on the right and resize it. Great. Your overview dashboard is ready. Let's name it X Protocol Overview. You can also create a focused dashboard for a specific theme. For example, X token distribution. You don't need to rebuild everything. Just find Chart 2 and Chart 3 on the Overview dashboard and copy these cards to the new dashboard one by one. Do the same for the panel card. The global panel stays visible across both dashboards, so you don't need to copy it. Now you have 2 dashboards, one for overall analysis, one focused on token distribution. When everything is ready, click Share and Publish to Insights. Add a cover image and set tags. Choose scenarios and decide whether to link the model. Confirm. Your experiment is now live on the HoloBit Insights community. Anyone can explore your model, adjust parameters, observe outcomes, without touching your core logic. Parameter exploration experiments are ideal for rapid tuning, public demos, and community engagement, and they prepare you for advanced experiments like optimization and reinforcement learning. Finally, let's recap our journey. We started with a simple question. How does a bonding curve price tokens as supply changes? In video 1, we built bonding curve engine. In video 2, we added a DEX and arbitrage and watched dynamics emerge. In video 3, we transformed the model into an interactive experiment. That's the workflow in HoloBit. Build the mechanism, observe the dynamics, then deliver it as a product, from isolated modeling to shared exploration. What will you build next? Thanks for watching. See you in the next tutorial.